The hits keep coming for Joe Biden. Barack Obama is more than happy to let the bus run over his old pal Joe. The Hollywood actor reportedly reached out to Barack to give him a heads up on that scathing op-ed he wrote, calling on Joe Biden to drop out. Politico is reporting, quote, while Obama did not encourage or advise Clooney to say what he said, he also didn't object to it. The Clooney-Obama hit is clearly getting under Joe's skin. Check out the expression on Biden's face when he got asked about it. Joe's campaign is suggesting that our 81-year-old president has more stamina than the 63-year-old Hollywood heavyweight.
A campaign official who attended that Los Angeles fundraiser tells me that George Clooney left 3 hours before the president. So clearly, the gloves are off. Jake?
But what does that mean, that George Clooney left 3 hours? What's the point?
The point of that is to suggest that Biden's stamina is better than Clooney's, and Clooney didn't have, eyes on the entire event. That's the response to the Clooney op-ed.
Okay.
And Joe and Mika are fuming over the possible Obama-Clooney coup.
This wasn't George Clooney.
What do you mean?
It just wasn't. Come on.
Who do you think it was? Matt Damon?
It was not Matt Damon.
Who do you think it was?
It wasn't Julia Roberts either.
Who do you think it was? You can say the name. You won't melt. It's not Voldemort. Are you saying you think Barack Obama put him up to this?
I think that Barack Obama has a lot of influence, and I think that there's a lot there.
All right, Dana, I'll start with you.
Okay.
Who do you think came first, Obama or Clooney?
I think maybe somebody in Obama's orbit encouraged George Clooney, or they are probably on a group text, and they said, "Hey, would you mind doing this?" And hey, we better just run it up the food chain. Better run up by the boss. And then Obama. I think that was right. Let's just say Obama had nothing to do with it, and somebody came to you and said, "I'm going to put this out there." Does he want to be the one to say no? I mean, they're not even denying this report, so I assume that it's true. So yesterday, what happened? Pelosi poured all the gasoline. Clooney lit the match. And Obama and his team, including Schumer and Jeffries, are refusing to call the fire department. So they're just let it all burn, and they're waiting to see what is going to happen. I could not believe that they wanted to pick a fight with George Clooney on his stamina. That, to me, I don't think we've ever seen worse crisis communications than this. This will be studied for years to come, but more than just the communications part of it. This is a scandal. I know Chris Hayes wants to say this is not a scandal. It's a big deal, and we are living through a gigantic, huge political story. I don't exactly know how it ends, but I'm grateful to be here to live through it.
You know, Jesse, I think it was on Joe and Mika, they said if Biden believes that Obama is orchestrating the campaign to oust him, he'll only dig his heels in deeper. What do you think Biden's reaction to this is?
He knows Barack has his fingerprints on it. And he's probably pissed. I'd be pissed too. And it's the second time he stabbed him in the back.
Right.
First by passing him over for Hillary, and then this. Barack's a smooth operator. And remember, he had Spygate on Donald Trump. They took Flynn out during the transition.
Right.
These people really know how to play. And it's clear Barack either blessed this or orchestrated it, but it doesn't even matter because all of Hollywood is out the door. Ari Emanuel, Netflix, Abigail Disney, Barry Diller, they're all gone. He was just the front man. He was the handsome face that really just landed it in the Times. It's embarrassing that now they're saying he doesn't have stamina. I mean, it's so pathetic. This is like KJP when she said he runs circles around us.
Yeah.
They're continuing the cover-up.
Yeah. Well, you know, Greg, the debate was something that Joe offered to do, and this presser is something, again, that Joe offered to do. It tells me that they were pushing him before all of this.
Maybe that's why they scheduled it earlier, to get the embarrassment out of the way. This really is like a family ordeal masquerading as political theater.
Yep.
Joe is the senile, suspicious, paranoid dad, and Barack is the smooth-talking son who comforts the old man. Don't worry, Pop, no one's stealing your baseball cards. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, he's securing a hospice. He's getting the doctors and assorted friendly faces together to get him outside and into Sunny Pines. Maybe they'll trick him and tell him they're going to Friendlies for brunch.
I love Friendlies.
You know, but it's interesting to me because this is a difference between parties. The Biden chaos has two realities. It's what's publicly unfolding and what's behind the scenes. That's a Democrat given. It's always two-faced. Give Trump his due. There was no distinction between the public and behind any door. You know more about Trump than you know about yourself, you know. But the media discovers something is afoot, and now once again, they're ready to receive. They're not ready to investigate. No one's doing any investigating. They're just waiting for the drips and the drabs and the leaks to come to them because they respect the double life of Dems. That's why they didn't investigate. They knew this was going on, but that's how the Democrats roll. They'll stay away. This is an advantage that Trump or Republicans never had. If they thought there was something going on behind closed doors, you can bet the investigators, the reporters would have pounded their way in.
Mm-hmm. And you know, Richard, 47% is the number that Joe Biden has, the overall job approval number, which they say is the lowest of anyone running for re-election. So knowing that, I mean, are the Democrats, you know, they said they're waiting for polling and everything else. Do you think they've already made their mind up?
I mean, like, I'm not on the inside of the campaign, but I do think what makes this particular story so interesting, and the only person I think who's been in Washington longer than me is Dana, but most of the time these stories, like if you have a bad news cycle, it's a 10-day cycle, maybe 11 days, maybe 12 days.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. We've been here for about 2 weeks, and I think that, maybe 3 weeks, and I think the problem with that is, let's be very clear, at the beginning of this race, when Trump announced that he was running for re-election, he was a weak candidate, right? Nikki Haley had 20% of the Democratic Party. She just released her delegates last week so that they could vote for Donald Trump. And so Donald Trump should not be doing this well in the polls. He's a weak candidate. Half of his former cabinet has not endorsed him. His vice president.
You wish you had a weak candidate.
He is a weak candidate. His former vice president hasn't even endorsed him. But the fact that this race is this close, I mean, he's even attacked this network for very good polls that we run, right? So the fact that we're here in this moment tells you this race should not be this close, which is why the Biden team and folks in the Democratic Party are having a real conversation around whether or not Joe Biden should stay or go. And I think it's not I don't think this is a Hollywood problem. This is a D.C. problem. It has now become a Hollywood problem because they too are saying, wait a minute, D.C. should have figured this out already. Yeah. This is now day 15 and we're still here.
Yeah, but D.C. is the one that's leaking every 30 minutes. And Schumer is changing. Everyone else is changing.
The drip has because the story should have wrapped up a long time ago.
It's stronger
it's not going
No, I don't think so.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.